demo is quite long. I'm quite surprised because we've almost recorded for 2 hours. I guess I'm sort of popular at school, but definitely not as popular as your parents are in the real world or whatever. Yeah, still it must be nice having tons of friends and having people think so highly of you. Yep, it sure is. I slightly glance around the cafeteria to spot a few wandering eyes aiming their curious gazes at Poppy as she eats. It sounds nice to have a lot of friends and to have a little following, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to handle that kind of pressure personally. But if her parents are as famous as Horsefed said, she's probably living a life of underneath the spotlight, so perhaps she's just used to it all at this point. Poppy seems confident, but you never know what's truly going on in someone's head until the pressure they were bearing becomes too heavy to lift, and the cracks start to show. I can't read, apparently. Dodgeballs whiz back and forth like bullets on a battlefield, smacking two students and getting them discharged to the bleachers with swollen red marks dotted across their bodies. I carefully caress my chest as I can already feel a bruise forming from when I got hit. Bro, I said I was sorry. Horseface, you're actually the coolest friend. You nearly hit me in the face. Dodgeballs are harder than they look, you know. I always hated dodgeball and kickball in school. Like, why did we have to play that? I was aiming for your neck. How is that any better? I suppose I should count myself lucky that I got hit by Horseface and not the massive ogre or the sporty minotaur on the opposing team. I might not have gotten back up if they landed a good shot. Huddled together in the sidelines near the dodgeball match is a pack of cheerleaders. Their salmon tank tops and short skirts are the stuff any teenage boy's dreams. Leading the group is Poppy, clearly indicated by her encouragement and the coordination of the other girls. Her beaming smile and rosy cheeks would surely push any basketball team to victory. Bro, you have no chance. What? I could totally see you eyeing up Poppy, bro. All I'll say is get in line. What's that supposed to mean? I'm pretty sure every guy at school is crushing on Poppy, bro. She's sweet, cute, totally innocent, a cheerleader. She's like one of those famous chicks you see on TV who gets a start in sitcoms acting all cute and family friendly that turns into sleazy junkies when they get older. First, that's a terrible analogy. And second, she told me she doesn't really see herself as famous. Well, yeah, she's not fully now, but she will be one day, bro. What makes you say that? Her parents are always mentioning her in their interviews and books about how they have high hopes for her and stuff. They want her to help people just like they do. Everyone thinks she's going to develop crazy good healing powers when she gets older because of how good her parents' powers are. That sounds like a lot of pressure. Duh, to you and me it would, but not to a girl like Poppy. We glance over to the cheer squad and watch in anticipation as they begin piling on top of one another like a swarm of fire ants, forming a tower-like shape. Poppy flutters her wings and floats up to the top of the forming pyramid, taking her place at the very top, the shimmering star atop a cheerleader Christmas tree. Almost everyone in the gymnasium gazes up to Poppy at the pyramid's tip, her beautiful wings twinkling under gymnasium lights, acting as a radiant light in that lighthouse. She is pretty amazing. Totally. Poppy opens her eyes and scans over to see people looking up to her, her smile faltering for a mere moment. She jerks back and forth slightly, and what I can only surmise as attempts to retain her dwindling balance. The pyramid's foundation begins shaking underneath Poppy as she continues to sway back and forth. She wobbles her arms up and down as she tries to feebly keep the formation steady. This doesn't look good. The pyramid crumbles underneath Poppy, sending everyone toppling to the ground. Poppy, no! Poppy has wings. Can't she fly? Horseface bolts off his seat and gallops towards us pallid, aching cheerleaders that quickly follow behind. Poppy, where are you? Are you okay? Horseface rummages through a cheerleader dog pile and searches for Poppy. Growing that eerie of all the girls, he pushes aside without a care.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, guys, that was my fault. Poppy hobbles out from underneath the girl pile and begins helping people up off the floor. She has wings. Why doesn't she just fly off instead of piling down? Oh, thank the stars you're okay, Poppy. Whew, boy, I was worried for a second. Ow! One of the floor cheerleaders kicked Horseface in the shin, prompting both him and I to start helping the other girls. After all the cheerleaders are back on their feet and dusted off, all of us stand around and chat idly with one another. The dodgeball game has been put on hold whilst the teacher makes sure none of the students went to file some sort of lawsuit. There should have been someone spotting the cheerleaders, but it turns out that the two gym teachers that were supposed to look after us were betting on the dodgeball game and were too preoccupied with their underage gambling to help the girls. Was to help the games. What amazing supervision we've been gifted.
Hey, you.
Hey. Poppy ambles up to me after double checking her squad for injuries. Hey Poppy, how you doing? That was a pretty nasty fall. Yeah, I think the air conditioner was blowing air at my wings and made me lose my balance. I look up to the roof of the gymnasium in search of an air conditioning unit, but I can't seem to find one. You won't be able to see it. I think it's inside a bin or something. Well, what matters is that everyone's okay, right? Yep, thankfully everyone is A-okay, and how are you? You don't have to worry about me, I'm fine. That's good to hear. You are at the highest point, so you're lucky to not have seriously hurt yourself. Luckily, I had nothing to do with it. Years and years of intense cheerleader training has taught me how to perfectly roll out of a bad fall. Is that why you screamed like a banshee as you fell? I did not. That is so mean. Poppy lightly digs me in the arm. Her punch is stronger than I would have thought. You know, there's something about you, Maddie. You're really easy to talk to. Poppy giggles as she brushes a hand through her hair. Her cheeks as red as rubies. Wait a minute, is she flirting with me? I need to play it cool. Oh my god. My MC's not that stupid when it comes to flirting. Even though earlier I thought the one chick was flirting with me, but I guess I was wrong. I'm a pretty easy talker and someone easy to talk to. I mean, I'm good at talking. Oh, I can tell, Mr. Marblemouth. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go check in with my girls. I'll come talk to you again after, okay? Sure thing, chicken wing. I set my fingers and fire off 2 little finger guns. A sign that horse face is sadly rubbing off on me. See you around, Basset Hound. Whoa! As Poppy goes to leave, she suddenly stumbles towards and grabs onto me for support. Our noses are only millimeters apart as we freeze in this accidental embrace. Poppy stammers backwards and steps away from me with a flustered look on her face. Sorry, I just tripped. Are you okay? You don't have to keep asking if I'm okay, you big dummy. I'm tougher than I look, you know? Deflecting the question. Well, okay. Damn it. And you don't have to keep deflecting that question, you know?
No.
I'm not. I'm just... Poppy falls silent, picking at her nails nervously. As if she's a child being yelled at by their parents. It's okay, Poppy. You can tell me there's something wrong. But look, despite what I may have said in the past, I'm not actually that good a talker. So I'll probably just reply to you in caveman-like grunts. Poppy laughs at my dumb joke yet again, making me feel pride. Poppy's smile slowly fades. She looks me deep in the eyes, like she's peering into her very soul.
I think I hurt my ankle.
What? When you fell? Poppy nods her head in a way that makes me feel like I'm scolding her for something she did wrong. Why didn't you say anything? I'm fine, really. My ankle just hurts a little bit. It'll probably feel better by the end of the lesson. I glanced down at Poppy's feet and noticed that she's clearly not putting her full weight on her left foot. Poppy, you should really see the nurse if you hurt your ankle. The school has a nurse, right? Yes, it does. Then you should see them. But don't tell me she doesn't have powers. Do not tell me she has actual no powers. Because I feel like that's the case here. Because she has such peer pressure of like holding up her parents' legacy, and then in the actuality she doesn't have powers. Like healing powers. Like it's not working. Poppy peers over at other students as they continue to talk amongst themselves. She pauses and thinks for a moment. Can you come with me? Of course. Thank you. Can you just give me a sec? Sure thing. After a meek nod, Poppy hobbles over to one of the teachers and speaks with them. I'm too far away to make out what they're saying. For a moment, the teacher glances at me with a look of strange intrigue. The teacher writes out what looks to be some sort of hall pass and gives it to Poppy before sending her on her way. Okay, we can go now. Alright then, what did you say? You know, I just told him we had to leave class for a spell. Poppy. Maddie, what did you tell him? I just told him that you needed my help with something and we needed to leave class for a little while. What? Wait, what did you say you needed help with? Come on, let's go. Must have been bad. Poppy wraps around my right arm and walks me to the door. I'm guessing she's doing it to make it look like as though I have some sort of ailment and has secretly used me as a type of crutch. Either way, having a cute girl like Poppy holding on to me like this is something I'm not going to scoff at. The strong smell of bleach and chemicals coupled with the drab, monochromatic colors give this room an otherworldly feeling. She's like the brightest color here in this room. The rest of the school seems so vibrant and warm in comparison. Maybe it's a rule that all nurses' offices have to be bleak. Thanks for coming here with me, Maddie. Medical checkups always put butterflies in my tummy. Don't mention it. Poppy continues to pick at her pink fingernails as she sits atop a plastic-covered hospital bed. I glance over at the nurse who's typing away on an old-fashioned PC. He said that once he was finished with whatever he was doing, he would see us. I really hope nothing's broken. I doubt it. If you can walk on it, it's probably not broken. You think? What if it's some sort of secret break, and I can only walk on it because of adrenaline or something? I reach out and lightly place my hand on Poppy's shoulder in an attempt to calm her nerves. Poppy, you'll be fine. Poppy looks deep into my eyes, searching for some kind of reassurance. Okay. I nod my head and remove my hand from her shoulder. Hey, can I ask you something? Sure. If you're struggling to walk, why don't you just fly instead? Flying everywhere would be nice, but whenever I flap my wings, I leave a trail of glitter and sparkly stuff wherever I go. It always annoys the janitor. Everything seems to annoy that guy. Yeah, I don't want him to feel any more trouble than he already does, so I stick to walking for the most part. Ah, okay. Hey, I just thought, why don't you use your magic to heal yourself? You're just full of questions, aren't you? I guess so. You don't really know a lot about fairies, do you, Maddie? Not really, sorry. I'm a noob when it comes to hybrids and magic and stuff. No, don't be sorry. So, fairies can only heal other people. We can't heal ourselves. Really? Yeah, I know it's weird. It's just a weird, stupid evolution thing, I guess. Okay. Alright, sorry for the wait. I just had to reorganize a few things. The nurse saunters over to us with his hands tucked into his pockets of his lab coat. It's okay, Doc. Take all the time you need. What are you doing anyway, Doc? You have no patience here. But the students, and I doubt all the students are in this room. Poppy returns to her gleeful attitude as the doctor bends down and begins examining Poppy's ankle. So, can you run me through what happened again? I was practicing a cheer routine with my squad and things didn't really go as planned. Clearly. The nurse lightly squeezes certain areas around Poppy's ankle. Does it hurt at all? Poppy glances up at me like a worried puppy. I give her a nod in an effort to reassure her. A little. Okay, can you move it a circle for me? Poppy complies and slowly twirls her foot counterclockwise. Does that hurt at all? A little bit, but not much. And can you walk on it? I can if I don't put too much weight on it. Alright. The nurse stands up straight and scratches the back of his head. Give it to me straight. Is it broken? No, not at all. That's great. But you have twisted it.
That's not great.
You'll have to wear a compression bandage for a while, until you can more easily apply pressure to your ankle. Along with that, I recommend some RICE. Rice? Rest, ice, compression, elevation. I was going to say, I know that's a term, I just don't know what that meant. I have a pamphlet with further details somewhere. I'll go grab that along with a compression bandage. The nurse walks off towards the other end of the office, leaving Poppy and I alone for a brief moment. Well, at least it's not a break. Thanks for coming here with me, Maddie. You really don't need to keep thanking me, Poppy. I know. I only came because it got me out of class for a bit. Oh, hush. The nurse silently returns as Poppy and I laugh amongst ourselves. In his hands are a cheap-looking pamphlet featuring a cartoon foot with a sad face and the aforementioned compression bandage. I want you to wear the bandage throughout the rest of the day, then come back to me after school, just so I can make sure the bandage isn't on too tight or isn't too loose. Will do, Doc. Alright then, let's get this bandage on. As Poppy and I slowly amble down the hallway, Poppy continues to use me as a crutch by holding onto my left arm. If anyone saw us walking together like this, I wonder what they'd think. Well, they'd probably think we were together, I suppose. Like, you know, that kind of together. Yeah, I thought that too. Poppy steps a little closer to me and further wraps her arms around my legs of kind of strawberry-scented anaconda. Bro, she's also strawberry-scented? I am going for her so hardcore. I'm sure if Horse's face were seeing this, his head would probably explode. Hey, Maddie. Poppy looks up with sky blue eyes of hers, and I can't help my cheeks from turning bright red. Yes, Poppy? Yes? Would you mind not telling anyone about me having to see the nurse? Why not? Well, the doc said it wouldn't take too long to heal, so there's no point in worrying people about it. But what about your limp? I'm good at hiding it. I look Poppy up and down as she blissfully smiles. Her need to keep the peace is a little unnerving. What about when you have to do more cheerleading practice? Your team needs to know for then, right? Well, after a little accident trying out the pyramid, the girls and I decided to just take it easy for a little while and work on some simple dance routines instead. There's something so odd about how Poppy wants to conceal her injury from others. It's like she feels ashamed of having hurt herself. Well, still, the nurse said you need rest. You should really tell your team, Poppy. I give a Poppy's grip around my arm loosen. Her face loses color, and she looks up at me with a faint glimmer of despondency hiding behind her baby blue eyes.
Matt, please don't tell anyone.
The air turns thick as Poppy suddenly becomes deadly serious. I feel like I'm looking at a completely different person from the one I met in the cafeteria earlier today. What do we have here, then? A familiar gruff voice cuts me off and forces me to grimace. I knew it. I knew you weren't a goody-goody like everybody says, out here strolling the halls with your boyfriend instead of being in class. What? Poppy unravels her arms from around me and hops back a step.
This is what it looks like, sir. I don't skip class. I'm not a skipper.
Preacher to the choir, little missy. I'm taking you right back to whatever class you escaped from. Then we're fixing you up with a detention. No, I have a note from a teacher. Please give me a second. Poppy dives her hand into her skirt pocket and frantically fishes her out for something. Here, sir. She hands it over to Earl, who violently snatches it from Poppy. The lumbering Cyclops releases tempered breaths as he slowly reads over the note. Earl looks over at me with his muddy brown eyes. Tough luck, kid. Excuse me? Earl goes to return and slip a paper back to Poppy, but before she could take it, I quickly reach out and snatch a suspicious note. Hey! I ignore Poppy's protest and I scan over the paper. Poppy and Matthew are excused from gym classes. Matthew has irritable bowel syndrome, and Poppy is escorting him to the bathroom. I slowly lower the note and look at Poppy with a mortified expression. Out of all the excuses you could have made? Don't be ashamed, boy. Nothing wrong with having an upset stomach. During the war, I was stationed to infiltrate an enemy base in the deepest, darkest part of the Shadow Snake jungle. It was just me, my trusty combat knife, and a picture of my mama in my jacket pocket. I eventually ran out of rations, so I was forced to eat the berries, the plants I found while I was prowling around looking for the enemy, and you know what happened, boy? I don't think I want to know. I had trains coming out of both stations, boy, at the same time. Ew, what the fuck? Alright, sir, that's enough out of you. We're gonna put you away now. But thank you guys for watching today's episode. Stay beautiful, and I will see you guys in the next one.